Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, hope you guys having a great day today as you're tuning in. I'm having a fantastic night. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning here in South Florida, so I'm walking around, clearing my mind. Got a lot of stuff on my mind, so I figured we talk some boxing while we're doing that. I wanted to talk about just in the aftermath of Tyson Fury's very surprisingly good fight against Otto Wallin, very entertaining fight. He had that big gash on his eye. He struggled. He had to really bite down and show some grit, show some determination in this fight against Otto Wallin. And you know what? To his credit, he did. And I think even with the cut, even with the gash, even as much of a struggle as it was for him at many times in the fight, I think he still won 9 of the 12 rounds. So he still won decisively. It just was a lot more eventful than expected. We didn't expect to see Tyson Fury bleed like that against Otto Wallin. But with that being said, his father, John Fury, has had a lot to say in the aftermath of the fight. He even went as far as to say that Ben Davison and his whole entire team need to be fired and that Tyson Fury needs to get rid of him. He went on also to say that, Tyson Fury's fighting at a weight that doesn't suit him. They say that he was saying that Tyson Fury shouldn't be fighting at 18 stone because he's a 19 stone fighter. Now I'm not exactly sure what that weight would equate to as far as pounds. Like in America we use different metric system. We don't weigh things by stone. We do pounds. But for my UK viewers, you can correct me. What's 18 stone, what's 19 stone? I really don't know. But he was saying that he was fighting 18 stone for this fight, and he should be fighting at 19 stone. So, with that being said, he also went on to say that Tyson Fury had no snap on his punches, that he was gassed after the second round, and things like that. And you know what? I want to respectfully disagree with John Fury. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with the Gypsy King's father because I truly believe that in this fight with Otto Wallin, Tyson Fury fought a good fight. It's hard to say he fought a good fight when you look at his face and he looks like, Arturo Gatti or Badu Jack, when Badu Jack fought that one fight. I can't remember who he fought. I think it was. I can't remember right now. But that one fight, Badu Jack had that big old gash in the middle of his face, He was gushing like a gusher, Shout out to gushers. Great candy. But I think it's a bit extreme, Ever since Tyson Fury and Ben Davison hooked up, I feel like, yes, we all know Ben Davison as far as his boxing credentials as a trainer. He's not, Freddie Roach, and he's not just any of those top trainers as far as his credentials go. But he's a young, ambitious, hungry trainer, and more importantly than that, Tyson Fury is one of those fighters where Tyson Fury doesn't need. It's kind of funny to say, but Tyson Fury is one of the only fighters in boxing who could. He's so smart as a fighter, he could probably train himself. He's one of those few fighters that you could say that about. What Ben Davison does with Tyson Fury more than anything else is I think he helps keep Tyson Fury in the gym. He helps keep Tyson Fury on the straight and narrow, and he gives Tyson Fury someone that he just works well with. Sometimes a guy, sometimes we see trainers in boxing that might not be the most qualified or the best trainers, but they work well with certain fighters. An example of that would be Virgil Hunter. Anybody who's heard me talk about Virgil Hunter knows I think he's a shambolic trainer, and he can't train anybody else besides Andre Ward. That's a fact. And if you look at everybody he's trained besides Andre Ward, they've gotten their ass whooped. Dominic Breazeale against Wilder, Fonfara against Adonis Stevenson in the rematch, Amir Khan versus Canelo, just a lot of fighters have gotten their ass whooped with under the watch of Virgil Hunter. And I don't think he's a good trainer, period. I think he's more of a motivator than he is a trainer, but he worked well with Andre Ward, and I think in a way it's kind of the same thing with Ben Davison. I know Ben Davison does train Billy Joe Saunders and Tyson Fury, but let's be real. Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders are two fighters that are some of the most skilled and intelligent fighters in boxing, so it's not going to be as hard to train those guys as much of let's say an Adrian Broner type fighter, who's just talented but has horrible boxing IQ, So, with that being said, I think that I mean I understand where John Fury's coming from. Like, he's his father, so obviously you saw your son, who's one of the most talented fighters in all boxing, go 12 rounds with a fighter that even the most hardcore boxing fans don't know a lot about, in Otto Wallen. And not only did Otto Wallen go 12 rounds with him, he had success. He cut him open. He had him leaking like the freaking faucet at the sink in your house. You know, he had a lot of success against Tyson Fury. So I get where he's coming from, but I do think it's a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, because ever since Tyson Fury has hooked up with Ben Davison, we've seen Tyson Fury in the best mental place he's ever been in his career. You know, let's be honest here for a second, guys. Tyson, it's a known fact throughout the course of his career that Tyson Fury has always had like problems outside the ring mentally, as far as training, as far as discipline. He'll be the first to tell you that. And we have to factor in that Tyson Fury has worked with guys like Emmanuel Stewart, and a whole host of trainers. Like, I mean, let's just start there with Emmanuel Stewart. Tyson Fury was with Emmanuel Stewart very, very early in his career. You know, Vlad used to bring him into camp, and that's how he kind of had a relationship with Emmanuel Stewart. And Emmanuel Stewart never truly got Tyson Fury on the straight and narrow. And Emmanuel Stewart is widely regarded as one of the greatest trainers in boxing history. You see what I'm saying? Ben Davison has done something, and I think this kind of goes under the radar. You know, Ben Davison has done something with Tyson Fury that people thought was impossible. You know, he's kept Tyson Fury in the gym. He's helped keep Tyson Fury match fit. He's really helped Tyson Fury stay at a place in his career and as a fighter where he's gonna put the work in, be consistent in the gym day in and day out. And that's probably been the one thing that's ever plagued him in his career. He's had all the tools in the world, but so that goes underrated, and I just think it's a knee-jerk reaction from John Fury. You know, Ben, I'm not gonna sit here and say Ben Davison is the greatest trainer in the world, because I don't think he's the greatest trainer in the world. I don't think his job, and you know, this is just me speaking as an outsider, because obviously I'm not there in camp. I'm sure there's plenty of things that go unnoticed that Ben Davison has to tidy up and correct. And he's probably a lot better trainer than I'm gonna give him credit for right here. But to be honest with you, I don't think his job training Tyson Fury and Billy Joe Saunders is the hardest job in the world. And I'm talking from a straight boxing perspective. I'm sure in terms of managing the personalities, that's where he has to earn his money, because Tyson Fury is a bit of a loose cannon. Billy Joe is a loose cannon. They're both loose cannons. They're both, you know, they're up and down a lot, both of them. So that's where he's going to earn his money as a trainer and make his name, is managing the personalities. But as far as the straight boxing technical side of things, I don't think his job is that hard, because Tyson Fury is a 6'9" heavyweight who moves like a middleweight. You know, he's training the kind of fighter that any opponent he fights cannot get sparring to simulate what he's doing. So he's training a one-of-a-kind fighter in terms of measurables, in terms of skill set, in terms of talent. And then if you talk about Billy Joe Saunders, you're talking about one of the top 5, you know, middleweights in the world. Now he's fighting 168, and he's probably going to become one of the top 5 fighters there very, very soon. So, you know, Ben Davison has not proven, in my opinion, Ben Davison has not proven himself to be a great trainer as of yet, but more so a great manager of personalities, which are two completely different things. So I'm going to disagree with John Fury, because yes, although Tyson Fury didn't look his best against Otto Wallen, the fact of the matter is, this guy Ben Davison, as young as he is at the age of 26 years old, has found a way to push the right buttons and manage the very up and down personality of Tyson Fury. And that is an underrated fact that does not get talked about enough, and he should get more credit for it. So I'm going to disagree with John Fury. You guys can go read the article. I'll leave it in the description for you guys, so you can come to your own surmise, as my man Mr. Boxing Today would say. And yeah, man, just, you know, my thing is this: like, if he fires Ben Davison, who would he bring in? I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of trainers that would love to train Tyson Fury, but you got to understand something, guys. You know, when you're a fighter at the world championship level of boxing, you need to have a voice in that corner you can trust. And he doesn't necessarily have to be this guy who's trained 100 world champions or been the best trainer in boxing. All he has to do is just be a voice you can trust, be a voice of guidance, be a voice of calmness, be a guy who can steady the ship when there's a storm in that ring, when you've gotten hit with a right hand and left hook, when you've been put out. You know, he needs to be somebody that can in some way, shape, or form stabilize you mentally and keep you on track, on the straight and narrow. And that's what Ben Davison does to Tyson Fury. Simply put, that's what Ben Davison does over Tyson Fury. So I'm gonna disagree with John, but you guys can give me your comments down. You guys can let me know what you think down below. You know, do you think that Ben Davison should get fired? Do you think Ben Davison should get fired from the Fury camp, along with other people in his camp, because of the fact that you know, he didn't look so good against Ottawa? I think it's a knee-jerk reaction from a very concerned parent and a guy who, like many people, rates his son very highly. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please take the time to subscribe. I appreciate all the support that I continuously get here on True School Sports. You guys mean the world to me, and I'm grateful that people still watch the channel, and hopefully we can continue growing. I got a couple of things coming up in the future that I think you guys are going to be excited for and enjoy. So, you know, you just let me know what you think in the comments down below. Keep supporting TSS, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. No, I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.